Good morning, everyone. Good morning, GAS 11 and ABM 11. So today we're going to discuss the chapter 4 of Organization and Management, titled Organizing. Okay, so we have already discussed the planning and forecasting um last last week, I think, or last week. And now we're going to discuss the organizing. Okay, so we're already in the second stage of managerial function. So yung first, no, yung planning, and then the next one is organizing. Okay, so we have the following performance standard. The learner should be able to design an appropriate organizational or organization structure for a specific business. Okay, so later I'll discuss your activity or your last activity for this quarter, which is the creating the organizational chart for the grade 12 ABM. For our learning competencies, the learners should be able to discuss the nature of organizations, distinguish the various types of organization structures, apply organization theories in solving business cases, identify the following or different elements of delegations, and then differentiate formal from informal organization. And then should be able to describe the process of organizing, and then at the end of this chapter, you should be able to discuss the delegation and why it is important for managers to delegate. Okay, so what is the definition of organizing? Okay, so organizing is the process of determining the tasks to be done, who will do them, and how those tasks will be managed and coordinated. Okay? To structure or arrange the relationship between people, the work to be done, and the facilities so that goals are achieved. Okay, so we have already discussed in the planning. And then for the forecasting, what are those activities? We have already listed the goals and objectives, but for now in organizing, we have to determine who will do the tasks, how those should be done or managed and coordinated, and who will delegate those tasks. Okay, and the organizing can be taught as well as identification and classification of required activities necessary for the accomplishments of objectives of organization. And then also the grouping of activities identified. For example, during the planning, we have identified these are the tasks that we need to be done. For example, creating of financial statements, budgeting. So lahat ng pag group natin yung mga tasks na yun, mapupunta siya sa kanya-kanyang department. So the task for the production department, the task for the sales or marketing department, task for the accounting department, and HR department. Okay, so after ng planning, for organizing, i-group na natin siya per department or depende sa structure ng organization or ng business. And then the assignment of activities which have been grouped. So each group of activities to a manager. Okay, so yon per department meron tayong mga manager. Okay, so kanino i-assign yung mga tasks na nalista natin during the planning. Okay, the next one is the provision of commensurate authority to the manager so that he can be able to supervise the group of activities that has been assigned to him. Okay, so yon, delegation of authority to the manager. And then this manager will use that authority to delegate those tasks naman sa mga subordinates niya. Okay, and then lastly, coordination, which ensures that the group of activities assigned to a manager has link with other groups of activities assigned to other managers in the organization. Okay, so dapat, again, no, during our last chapters, we have discussed na yung mga objectives and the goals of each department and each individual should be consistent to each other. Okay, dapat may consistent siya with each other, so magkakaroon ng coordination. Okay, konektado sila sa isa't isa. Okay? Okay, why is it important to organize, no? So, to summarize, no, ano yung advantage, no? To make it short, ano yung advantage ng organization or organizing phase or stage in the managerial function? Okay, managers have to organize the activities they want to perform for the following reason, so that they can divide the work according to the nature and similarity of tasks, so that they can pool resources and increase the efforts which lead to efficiency. Okay, so that they can build continuity and synergy. Okay, so dapat mo-organize ng maayos ng mga managers or the top management yung mga tasks na kailangan. Okay, so again, no, if this tasks belong to the accounting department, marketing department, HR department, production department. Okay? So that, no, mas madali siyang gawin kung pare-parehas or na-group natin yung mga tasks. And then we'll know kung kanino natin siya i-delegate or kung kaninong department ipapasa yung task. So kung accounting department yan, na-segregate natin, na-group natin lahat ng accounting tasks, and then it will be given or delegated to the accounting department, then mas madali kasi ayun yung field nila and then yung forte nila. Okay, and also for the efficiency. Okay, so syempre may mga deadlines tayo. Ayan, so hindi lang dapat basta nami-meet but also dapat on time and then accurate. So we need to delegate or organize or group the tasks according to their background, according to their experiences and skills. No? Kung yung task na yan for accounting, then it should be in the accounting department. Okay, hindi siya pwedeng maligaw sa ibang department. Okay? So that they can build continuity and synergy. Okay, so syempre, no, pag na-delegate natin ng maayos sa mga tasks, then there'll be continuity and synergy. A manager who wants to organize his or her department must address these issues. First, determine what is to be done. Okay, during our planning stage, we have already listed down all the tasks or activities for this project or for this business. Okay, so yun, ito-check na yun ng mga manager during organizing. And then, assigning tasks, no? Yan, after mag-group, masegregate lahat ng activities per department and then the manager will assign the tasks. Okay, decide how to achieve coordination. So, syempre, every now and then, magkakaroon kayo ng meeting or even those managers per department should have a meeting, no, kahit every quarter or every month, magkakaroon sila ng meeting to discuss kung ano ba kung align pa rin ba sila with the objectives and then yung stability ng per department, yung performance nila. Okay, so yun, i-check nila yun, no, kung align pa rin with the objectives of each other. Design on a span of management. Of course, meron tayong timeline again. So every time na meron tayong project, may activities na kailangang gawin, no, we should put deadlines or timeline on it. Decide how much authority you should designate. Okay, so kung gaano ba kalaki yung authority, no, na ibibigay ng top management sa manager. Okay, so minsan depende rin sa hawak nila na sa hawak nilang mga tao. Okay, kung kailangan talagang higpitan or kung pwede nang pabayaan kung magagaling na yung mga subordinates, then ayun, nakadepende rin siguro, no, sa mga subordinates nila. Okay, and then kung gaano kalaki yung effect ng department na yon sa organization. Okay, draw an organizational chart. Yan, so this will be your task for this chapter, to draw or to make an organizational chart for the business plan of grade 12 EBM for their principles of marketing. Okay, so we'll know, no, magkakaroon tayo ng idea on how to create an organizational chart. Okay, so the organizing process. First, here you see the organizational mission, the goals and objectives, and control and feedback. So first, no, yung control and feedback. So first is organizational mission, developing the foundation, determining the tasks and defining jobs, defining work relationships. So diba sa mission, this is the short-term goal, which is ano yung mga dapat kong gawin ngayon. Okay, so determining the tasks and defining jobs. And then next, for the goals and objectives, developing organizational design, grouping organizational members, developing an integrating system, determining the locus or the focus of decision making. Okay, so again, no, as you can see, paulit-ulit natin yung sinasabi na during the planning process, nalistaw na natin lahat ng activities and then objectives and then activities, the person na kailangan, yan. And then through organizing, iba by group na siya, ayan, i-assign per department, and then giving the authority to the managers or the top management. Yan. So we have the following organizing process. The first stage, developing the foundation of the organizational system. Okay, so here, determining tasks and defining jobs. Okay, so first, now developing the foundation of the organizational system. Determining the tasks and defining jobs. Here, tasks are determined and assigned to specific job positions. Okay, so yon, kaya tayo merong mga vacancies, nag-hire ng accountancy, nag-hire ng accountants, nag-hire ng mga marketing or marketer, nag-hire ng mga HR. Okay, so after ma-define kung ano ba yung mga tasks na kailangan, then they'll know, no, kung ano yung mga position na mababakante at kung sino yung mga taong kailangan nila on that task. Defining work relationship, specify the working relationship between individuals and work group. Okay, so hindi lang tayo dapat magbibigay ng mga tasks and mag-fill up ng vacant position. So here we'll also know kung ano ba yung connection nila with each other. Okay, so again, no, dapat consistent yung objectives and goals ng each individual and each group. Second stage, developing the organizational design, grouping organizational members into work units. Okay, so creating departments by grouping tasks on the basis of some characteristics such as function, product, or geographic market. Okay, so depende, no, sa structure background din ng isang organization or business kung ano yung magiging organizational chart nila. Okay, so again, merong common characteristics such as yung function, yung product, and then geographic market. And then next, developing an integrating system. Develop mechanism to coordinate the efforts, individuals, and work groups. So again, we need to connect each individual. yung effort ng each individual. Determining the locus of decision making. Determine who make decisions. Okay, this can be centralized or decentralized decision making. Okay, so kung top management lang ba yung involved, or we can involve also the subordinates. Okay, so next, division of work or labor. So the work has to be divided among the members so that the individuals are responsible for a limited set of jobs instead of doing tasks as a whole. Okay, so yon, pag nag-a-apply tayo ng work, we need to check the job description, the scope of the job, or anything na nakalist down yung mga tasks and activities mo for that work, so that hindi ka pwedeng utos-utusan ng manager mo na hindi naman sakop nung job description mo. Kasi ayun yung binabayaran sa'yo. Okay? So dapat merong tamang division or segregation of work and labor sa isang organization. Okay, so advantages and disadvantages of division of work and labor. So advantage per person to fit based on talents and interest, the job given can be based on individual's ability. Okay, so syempre yun, na-segregate natin ng maayos ng work and labor and we'll know kung sino bang tao yung kailangan natin. And then through that, magkakaroon ng vacancies, i-list down natin yung mga qualifications and criteria natin, no, pag naghahanap na tayo ng applicants. Create jobs, specialization. Okay, so nagkakaroon sila ng specialization, kumbaga forte nila, kung saan sila magaling, kung ano ba yung expertise nila. Increase productivity. So syempre dun sila magaling and then nag-focus sila dun and then limited lang naman yung activities nila based dun sa job description nila. And then mag-i-increase yung productivity. Ayun, kasi as time goes by, kapag nakabisado nila yung process, nakabisado nila yung work environment nila, then alam na nila yung mga gagawin nila next, even na maka-encounter sila ng mga difficulties or challenges doon sa work. Okay, so syempre, di ba, pag mas nakakabisado mo yung environment, mas bumibilis kang gumawa ng mga tasks and activities. So yung disadvantage naman, high degree of control. Okay, and then boredom. So syempre, pag paulit-ulit natin ginagawa yung isang bagay, minsan maboboring din tayo. Okay, unlike na pag walang division of labor, no, kahit anong ibigay sa yung work at gagawin mo. Okay, so I think bihira or rare naman yung tao na na gusto nila lahat ginagawa nila. So yun, pag nag-work na kayo as much as possible, limited lang yung yung list ng activities nyo or ng tasks na gagawin sa work. Organizational chart, a formal diagram that shows the lines of authority. The purpose of organization chart is to indicate responsibility and to whom each reports, to coordinate division of work and make it clear to show work to be done and to indicate line of promotion. So ito na yung gagawin nyo, no? Okay, so pipili kayo kung ano yung organizational chart na pwede nyong gayahin dito. Okay, so we have the departmentalization, organizational structure. Okay, so when we say departmentalization, it's a process of grouping jobs into specific or separate units, activities, or tasks that are proposed. So ito yung pinaka-common, no, among all the companies, businesses, and organization in the Philippines or kahit sa ibang bansa din. Ito yung pinaka-common, no? Departmentalization. So there are 6 types of departmentalization or organizational structure. First, yung functional structure, product structure, customer structure, geographical structure, matrix structure, or network structure. Okay, so yun, pag gumawa kayo ng organizational chart, you can choose among these 6 or depende no dun sa business plan. Okay, so among all the departmentalization organizational structure, ito talaga yung pinaka-common, which is the functional structure. Used mainly by smaller firms that offer a limited line of products because it makes efficient use of specialized resources. This method eliminates overlapping in the execution of organizational activities. So, ito yung madalas na ginagamit, pinapagamit ko sa business plan ng grade 12 sa principles of marketing. So, we'll see here the president, okay, and then the vice president production, the vice president marketing, and then the vice president finance. And then yung mga subordinates nila which part of the production planning, customer service, and financial planning. Okay, so for the advantages and disadvantages, for the advantages, staff by expert of each function, easier supervision, and easy to coordinate activities. Since yun nga, kumbaga na-segregate na natin sila according to their functions, so we'll know kung saan ba sila expert, yung specialization nila. For example, accounting department, again, marketing department, HR department, and then operational department. So yung 4 na yung pinaka-common yan, no? So again, accounting department or the financing department, HR department, yan, who'll do the payroll, who'll do the benefits for their employees. Yan yung mga nagpapasweldo, no, yung nagko-compute ng mga sweldo. And then the next one is the marketing department, who do the advertisement, yung mga promotional strategy. And then the operational department or operations department, who do the day-to-day operations. Okay, so for example, ano kayo, ang business nila ay tindahan ng milk tea. Okay, so yung mga gumagawa doon sa loob ng store, for example, yung mga staff doon, o yung mga barista, yung gumagawa ng milk tea, yung mga waiter or yung tagalinis doon, or even yung guard, part siya ng operations management or department. Okay, and then next naman, yung HR. Ayan, so siya yung magpapasweldo na magko-compute ng mga ipapasweldo doon sa loob ng milk tea na yun. No? Yung magiging sweldo ng tagagawa ng milk tea, yung magiging sweldo ng guard. And then yung magiging division ng income ng mga owners. And then yung next, ano ba yung isa? Ayan, yung the marketing department, yan, so sila yung gumagawa ng mga promotional na strategy. For example, tagagawa ng mga advertisement sa Facebook or social media, sila din yung nagbabantay nung ano na yun, nung social media na yun or platforms na yun. And then, ano ba yung mga tasks nila? So, sila din yung nagpo-propose ng mga panibagong product line. Yan. And then sila din yung gumagawa ng prototype. And then, pag nagawa na nila yung prototype and then it is possible to do that product, then ituturo naman nila yun sa operations management or operations department. And then lastly, yung finance or accounting department. So, syempre sila yung nag-aayos ng finance or nagmamanage ng finance nung milk tea na yun. So, for example, kung kailangan pa ba nila ng additional na capital for the expansion of their business. And then, syempre, meron din silang meron din silang teamwork with the HR department. Yan, kasi nagpapasado ang HR, so dapat yung mga informations na yun, kailangan din ng finance department na yun para makagawa sila ng financial statements. Okay? So normally, pag maliliit na business, yun yung mga departments. Ang disadvantage, difficult to get quick decisions or actions on a problem or situation. Difficult to monitor performance, especially among individual. Okay, so kaya siya naging difficult to decide. No, syempre, pag may mga kanya-kanya leaders or managers, so iba-iba rin sila ng mga beliefs, iba-iba rin sila ng view doon sa situation. Okay, and then, kaya mahirap din mag-decide kasi they need to wait for the availability of such department, or meron pa silang time na hinihintay para makapag-usap-usap lahat-lahat. Okay, and then yun nga daw, iba-iba kasi sila ng activity ng ginagawa, so hindi sila agad-agad nakaka-decide. Difficult to monitor performance, especially among individuals. Ayan, kasi ito, yung pag-monitor ng performance, depende yan sa manager, no, kung paano niya i-monitor yung performance. Okay, product structure, grouping of activities and functions on a basis of product manufactured by the company. Okay, so kunyari, ano ba yung business na maraming product? So for example, SA. Meron silang for real estate, meron silang for bangko, meron din naman silang for leasing, or yung tawag dito, yung pagpapaupa doon sa mga businesses, and then yung mga departments nila, yung SM department, ganyan. Okay, so yon. So depende no sa product na ino-offer ng isang company. So grouping the activities and functions on a basis of product manufactured by the company. So we have the president, and then general manager for pharmaceutical product, general manager for personal care product. Okay, so depende no sa product portfolio nila, or product line, or business portfolio nila. So ang advantage nito is activities can be easily focused and coordinated. Okay, so since yun nga nakadepende sa product na ino-offer nila yung structure, then mas madali nilang may improve no yung product na yun. Kasi doon lang sila nakafocus. Enhanced speed and effectiveness of decision making. Kasi di naman nila kailangan pang i-consider yung ibang product. Okay, so pag nag-decide sila, specific lang for that product. Easy to assess performance and identify accountability and liability. Okay, so since iisang product lang naman yung ginagawa nila, then iisang criteria or performance standard lang yung kailangan nila. Okay, so mas madali siyang i-assess. Disadvantage, focus only on own products. So ang mangyayari, no, pwede kayong maboard. Pag-iisang product lang yung ginagawa nyo. No? And then, paano pala kung meron pa pala kayong bright idea with other products? Then, disadvantage din siya. No? Hindi natin mamamaximize yung mga ideas and knowledge natin sa iba't ibang product. Increase administrative cost. Medyo costly siya, no? Kasi nakapokus tayo sa isang product, and then per product, no, may kanya-kanya ding tawag dito, may kanya-kanya din siyang leaders or top management. Okay, next, customer structure is the grouping of activities to reflect the interest of different customer. So, president, okay, so more likely sa mga bangko ito kung bangko yung business natin. So, meron tayong community banking, corporate banking, real estate mortgage, and then loan and agricultural banking. Okay? So, more likely, no, ito yung mga ginagamit ng bangko. So, for the customer structure, ito yung advantages natin. Encourage concentration on customer needs. It gives customer the feeling that they have an understanding supplier. It develops expertise in customer handling. Disadvantage, difficult to coordinate operations between competing customer demands. Requires managers and expert or staff expert in customer problems. Next, yung geographical structure natin. A department or a company or a part of it is organized around the places where operations are located. It is commonly found in sales and manufacturing operations. Okay, so pag sobrang laki ng isang business, tipong meron na silang ibang business sa ibang bansa, no? Or even dito sa Pilipinas. So, hinahati-hati nila, no, per location yung structure nila. So, for example, we have the West region, Southeast region, Central region, and then East region. So, bawat ito no may vice president. Vice president for the West region, vice president for the Southeast region, Central region, and then East region. And then there, yung baba nun magkakaroon na ng functions. For example, production department, marketing department, and then so forth. Geographical structure, ang advantage nito, it offers better services at low cost. It places emphasis on local markets and problems. It offers better face-to-face communication with local interests. Ang disadvantages naman nito, it requires more staff with general manager abilities. Top management has less control of the regional managers since they are independent. Okay, matrix structure, also known as multiple command system, focus on 2 or more dimensions at the same time. Okay, so parang ito, no, itong matrix na to, this can be combination of different structures. So for example, itong sa ano natin, sa picture natin, no, this is the combination of geographical and product structure. Okay, so under ng President and CEO, meron tayong cosmetic, nail care, hair care, and skin care. But then, mahahati pa rin sila sa regions. For example, domestic, Europe, Asia, and South America. So may Vice President Cosmetic for South America, may Vice President Cosmetic for Asia, may Vice President Cosmetic for Europe. Okay, merong Vice President Skincare for domestic. Okay, so meron tayong, in total, no, meron tayong 16 na Vice President all in all. Okay, so anong advantage no? More efficient use of resources than single hierarchy. Flexibility, adaptability to changing environment. And disadvantage naman, no, frustration and confusion from dual chain of command. High conflict between two-sided of matrix, more meetings, more discussion than action. Okay, kasi, no, kaya siya more meetings, so you still need, para kumbaga may dalawang meeting kang a-attenan eh. Meeting for the product, for example, lahat ng Vice President ng skincare, lahat ng, or yung other side naman, lahat ng Vice President for South region, Southeast region, like that. Okay, next structure or the last structure for the departmentalization is the network structure. Segregates major functions into separate companies that are brokered by a small headquarter organization. So manufacturing, engineering, sales, and accounting is provided by separate organization which is specialized on that area. So ito naman, no, hindi sa, yung functions niya is provided pa ng ibang company. So yung company A, ayan, meron silang other company for design, meron silang other company for the distribution, may other company sila for transportation, may other company sila for manufacturing. So sobrang laki, no? So ang advantage nito, no, global competitiveness, workforce challenge, reduce administrative costs. Disadvantages, no hands-on control. Okay, can lose organization part, employee loyalty weakened. For the span of management, definition, a number of subordinates who report directly to a given manager of supervision. Okay, also called as span of control. In theory, when tasks are very complex, span of control should be relatively narrow. In contrast, where jobs are highly standardized and routine or low complexity, a manager will not need to spend as much time supporting individual subordinates, and span of control may be larger. So major factors that influence the span of management: first, the type of work, the strength of organization structure, the ability of the manager, the amount and type of communication required among the members. Okay, types of organizational chart and the tall and lean structures. So we have the narrow or tall structure. Yeah. So as you can see, merong CEO, and then under ng CEO may president, under ng president, or the CEO can also be the president. So under ng CEO or president, then the vice president, and then under ng vice president, of course, the managers, and then after ng managers, the supervisors, and then under pa ng supervisors, meron pang mga seniors, and then the analyst. Okay, so here, kaya siya tall or tinawag na tall or narrow structure, meron kasi siyang ladder, no? Meron siyang pa-triangle siya. Kumbaga, ang dami mo pang pagdadaan ng posisyon bago ka makarating sa pagka-CEO or president or even vice president. Sa flat structure naman, under ng CEO, pantay-pantay na lahat. Okay? So normally, no, ginagawa to ng mga maliliit na business. Okay? Kung iilan lang naman kayo. Okay? So normally, dun sa business plan na pinapagawa ko, ito yung madalas na ginagamit. So, meron tayong CEO, or actually, wala nang CEO eh. Pwedeng walang CEO, no? General manager agad. So, lalo na pag mga partners yung mga may-ari nung business. So, partners, general manager, and under ng general manager, iba't ibang managers na. So, for example, operational manager, what else? Finance manager, HR manager, and then marketing manager. Okay, so yon. And then sa baba no, kung kailangan nilang ng tao, then you can put there, especially sa operations manager, for example, spa or hair salon, then you need to have hairdressers and under the operations manager. So for the narrow and tall span management, have short span of authority with many organization levels. Advantage dito, no, close supervision, close control, and rapid communication between subordinates and superiors. Ang disadvantage, superiors tend to get involved with subordinates' work, high cost, excessive distance between the lowest level and the highest level. Wide and flat span of management have few organization levels with wide span of authority. So ang advantage nito na superiors are forced to delegate, clear policies must be made, and subordinates must be carefully selected. Disadvantages, decisions made by managers tend to be bottleneck, superior loss of control, and requires exceptional quality manager. So for the chain of command, the definition, separate line of authority or power among all positions in an organization. So it has two components, the unity of command and then scalar relationship. For the unity of command, this suggests that each person within an organization must have a clear reporting relationship to only one superior. Okay, so here, no, kung meron kang problem or meron kang issue with the process or task na meron ka, meron tayong protocol na sinusunod. So for example, yung issue na to must be disclose muna kung sino yung supervisor mo bago ka dumiretso sa manager. Huwag kang dediretso agad sa manager, no? Huwag mong ibabypass yung supervisor. Okay, so kung meron kang problem with your process or task, you still need to disclose this issue with the superior, which is yung supervisor mo kung senior ka, bago ka dumiretso sa management or sa manager. Scalar relationship suggests that there must be a clear and unbroken line of authority that extends from lowest to highest position in the organization. Okay, so again, no, parang katulad din ng unity of command. Yung reporting nito, no, from analyst, then kung may problem, kailangan mo munang i-consult si senior. Pag medyo malaki yung problem, then it will be communicated to supervisor. Pag hindi pa rin kayang ayusin yung problem, then pupunta sa manager. So meron naman yung hierarchy. So you need to follow those hierarchy. Authority definition: the right to make decisions with respect to work assignments and to require subordinates to perform assigned tasks in accordance with the decision made. Okay, so you have the right to make decisions with respect to the work assignment, and then to delegate the works to your subordinates. Line and staff authority. Line authority, those organizational members that are directly involved in delivering the products and services of the organization. While yung staff authority, those organizational members that are not directly involved in delivering the products and services to organization, but provide support for line personnel. So delegation means the process of transferring the authority for a specific activity or task to another member of the organization and empowering that individual to accomplish the task effectively. And then transforming the responsibility for a specific activity or task to another member of the organization. And then empowering the individual to accomplish the task effectively. So we have the following steps in delegation. First, you need to decide which goals or tasks to delegate. And then make assignments and then grant the authority, hold responsible and accountable, and then monitor. Benefits of delegation. So there will be empowerment and then better decision making, provide an opportunity for the development of analytical and problem solving skills. And then managers magnify their accomplishments. Okay, so what are the barriers of delegation? So manager may refrain to delegate because they are insecure about their value to the organization. Managers simply lack confidence in the abilities of their subordinates. And then manager experience dual accountability. Subordinates are reluctant to accept delegation. Overcoming barriers to the delegation. So allow subordinates to develop their own solutions and to make mistakes. Okay, so overcoming barriers to delegation allows subordinates to develop their own solutions and to make mistakes. Okay, so you can allow your subordinates to encounter mistake, and then through that, makakagawa pa sila ng solutions. Okay, so all you have to do is to document that scenario and then the solution. So if in case na ma-encounter siya next time, then okay na. More support and training, improved communication. Okay, so we have mentioned earlier no, yung centralization and then decentralization. So when we say centralization, it is the process of systematically maintain the power and authority in the hands of higher level managers. Decentralization is the process of systematically hand over or assign power and authority throughout to middle and lower manager. Okay, when we say coordination, it is keeping organization units that interact with or influence each other in contact with each to share information and other things in a way that enhances accomplishment of tasks. Okay. Okay, so that's all for this chapter, which is the organizing, and I'll discuss the activity. Okay, so thanks.